morning and welcome to the Treehouse. This is Kag with the View from Above tarot reading for Saturday, August 17th. So this morning we're going to be using the Radiant Wise Tarot and we're going to be doing a reflection spread. I did the deep shuffling before I started the video. We're going to shuffle just a little bit more before we put it in. So before we get started, I wanted to talk about tarot readings, specifically when you have an actual question. So you can use these readings as an answer for that question. It's probably not going to be very specific because, again, these readings are for the collective and not for any individual, although you may be able to glean some wisdom from the cards and some help for whatever situation you're asking about. So we might do a little experiment at the end and kind of think about that. So now I have shuffled and cut the cards and I'm going to lay them out for the reflection spread. So this is you today and me. This is what crosses us, challenges us. This is the undercurrent, sometimes called the root, but it's like what's going on in your self-conscious at the moment, which you don't even know that you're thinking about. This is the influence from the past. Here is what's on your conscious mind. Here is where these energies are leading in the near future if nothing changes. And last, the Merryweather card. Okay, so if you have some situation in mind, I will read the cards in that general sort of interpretation so that you can apply them. If they don't apply, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And here is where we are today, all of us. The Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles being all the resources. This is a woman who has worked really hard to get where she is. And she is in her garden and she has got all of her pentacles there. There's nobody else in there with her, but she does have her hawk. She's able to defend herself. And actually, if you think about the whole exercise of falconry, usually that is done by people with some means, not always, but it certainly has some indication of an ability to be in charge and to be in control, even though she has a hood over the hawk that is standing on her gloved hand. But she certainly is very successful and she is enjoying all of her hard work. You can see by the pomegranates in the bushes behind her. And she's got these two trees on either side, which are somewhat reminiscent of some of the pillars in the major arcana. But she's dressed beautifully. And I want to point out the little snail here. It took her a while to get here. But here she is, very successful in her garden. This is the card that needs some integration. The Four of Cups is a card of disappointment, of being unsatisfied, which is really interesting when it comes along with the Nine of Pentacles. He is looking down at the three cups he already has, and he isn't seeing this hand of God bringing him yet a fourth cup. He hasn't seen it yet. He's sitting under that tree. He's looking kind of disgruntled and unhappy as his arms crossed and his legs crossed. Not happy. So there's something that's missing that hasn't been appropriated yet, perhaps. But he is also not open to this great opportunity that's being offered to him. So at some point, even the successes of this card are somehow diluted by this thought that it isn't, is that all there is? I mean, to think about that old Peggy Lee song, which those of you who are younger aren't going to know what that is. But is that all there is? And I want to say that in my life as a therapist, this is a feeling that comes up frequently in the 40s. When you have reached those 40s or you've worked at your job for 20 years, and even though you are quite successful, the question is this what it's all about? And so that is something that may not resonate for you now. It may at some point, but when you think about the midlife crisis, That might be kind of what we're talking about here. It can also be having worked really hard to get where you are and finding that it isn't exactly what you wanted to do with your life. And that can happen at any time. And I'm a great example of that. I've had many different careers doing many different things because it was ultimately not as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. So anyway, that's what the present energies might look like for you today. Subconscious. This is the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is about emotion, and it is about an open-mindedness, a willingness to be surprised. Anybody who's seen a fish jump out of a cup would be surprised. So he was not expecting that. And I think this is an interesting subconscious place to be in. It is an openness to kind of what are the possibilities, and it seems like a good foil to the disappointment that's here. Maybe to be able to look around and see, well, what else is available to me? What is in that cup, right? Could be a fish. So let's look at past influences. Past influences. Okay, this is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card of movement from more choppy waters into some clearer waters. So in the past, something has not been easy. It's been a little bit difficult, and these people are on their way away from whatever that negative energy was to something that's a little clearer. The shore that they are going to is over here somewhere. Can't really see exactly where that is. And we've got the swords of logic and clarity saying, but yes, we are moving on from whatever this was. Now, this fellow who is the boatman may be the father figure, the driver of this group of people. He may also be the hired hand. We don't know. So however that might fit for you, you could be any one of those three people in this card. Currently on your mind is the Emperor. The Emperor is a pretty powerful card. He is a subtotal of all of the kings of the suits, and he has the last word on how things are going to go. So the upside of this card is that he's got control of the structure. So in your conscious mind, you may have control of the structure. The downside of control is that it isn't always helpful to be over-controlling, right? So to be thoughtful about, are you directing other people to do things? Are you taking into consideration the other members of your kingdom while you are trying to get your will accomplished? Somebody has once said that the Emperor can really affect his subjects as if he is putting a shot collar on them. Oh, you are going to do what I say. So be thoughtful about the places in which you have control, that you manage it with those positive traits of generosity and kindness. And it is possible to be kind when you have authority. Yeah. So let's look at where we're going energy-wise into the future, if all this stays the same. The King of Swords, in his most positive, is, as I've said previously, the kings are those that are responsible for the lands and the people. And I love that metaphor. The kings are concerned about the welfare in their most positive energy. They can be authoritarian in their negative energy. The King of Swords, those swords cut both ways, don't they? And this particular king is the one who has the capacity to see both sides of any situation with clarity and with logic, with integrity, with dignity, and with kindness while he speaks the truth. So again, those two birds in the upper right-hand corner, able to see both sides of a situation with equanimity. So if we are looking at a situation where there has been some serious success, but it isn't quite meeting the expectations that you had hoped, to be open to what the universe has to say to you. And when I say universe, I'm using the another vocabulary word for for the holy, for God, for whatever your belief system might be, your higher self, your greater power, whatever it is that you believe in that kind of runs your life. I'm talking about a lot of these little let me explain videos, but about the vocabulary that we use for the word God and the concept of God. So at any rate, waiting for the universe to have this surprising move on you, being open to that, being grateful to be moving from whatever has not worked into something that is going to be better, to have some control over the structure, remembering to be kind and to share control where appropriate, and to know that you are seeing both sides of the situation here as you kind of evaluate it. So that's kind of heady stuff for a Saturday. Let's look at what the Merriweather card has for us. And that is the Three of Pentacles. So reminding you that the Pentacles are resources, all your resources. And this is, I think it's the only card that is underground. And these three people, we've got the monk, and we've got the architect, and we've got the master builder. And they are creating a structure that is to last for a long time. So this is a slow moving card because it takes a long time to put a foundation in place. But you've got some control over that foundation, right? And hopefully the foundation is coming as a result of the fact that you have been successful in the past, that something has not felt quite right about that success, and that you are beginning to build a newer foundation that will really support what it is that you want for a long-term goal. And that is kind of what the Emperor and the King of Swords is about. It is about the goodness for all the people of the lands, and all the people, and for the lands, right? The success of everyone. So yesterday we talked about a celebration, and this is really more of a different reading altogether. I don't see a lot of connection between yesterday's reading and this one. This is a deep and thoughtful reading about where you are today and where you want to go going forward, with some confidence that this is going to be successful. So be open, be able to evaluate both sides of everything, and be truthful to yourself about whatever that disappointment is. What I am not seeing energetically in this reading is the Suit of Wands. We've got cups, we've got swords, we've got pentacles, and we've also got one major arcana. But there are no wands here. And wands, you will remember, are determination and will and inspiration. The only kind of wand that we've got is the pole that the boatman is steering the boat with. So there is a energy that belongs to the wand suit here, but we really don't know where this is going. So that inspiration, that desire, has not come yet to pass. So that is what I have for you this morning here at the Treehouse. I hope that if this reading has been helpful to you, you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I will welcome you back again tomorrow for another view from above here at the Treehouse. Blessings.